A group of museums at Balboa Park are speaking out after a drop in business since the city changed its parking laws here. We hear from two museums coming up.
Marina sinkhole repairs drag on. Drivers and businesses still impacted.
Meet Phoebe. She's not your average police dog. She's helping put child predators behind bars.
An unlikely friendship between a lobster fisherman and a sea lion. But now that fisherman is trying to get his new friend some medical attention.
A line down the street for a Goodwill store opening. That was the scene in La Jolla today. I'll take you inside.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts now.
Tonight, a group that represents all 24 museums and cultural institutions in Balboa Park is calling on the city of San Diego to hit pause on paid parking. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. The Balboa Park Cultural Partnership says attendance is already dropping just 2 weeks into the new program. CBS 8's Alex Cheney visited several museums today to see how the change is affecting visitors and staff. Alex?
And really, the general feeling I got was frustration from those attending Balboa Park and those working here as well. All of these paid parking changes have really affected everybody that comes through Balboa Park every day. As attendance is down, so is revenue. In the Alcazar Garden this morning, the Balboa Park Cultural Partnership said in the first 2 weeks of paid parking at Balboa Park, museums have seen a 20 to 60% drop in attendance as compared to this time last year. City residents with a 20% drop, while tourists just 3%.
Paid parking is not discouraging tourists. It is discouraging San Diego residents, and it is hurting San Diego arts workers.
We're showcasing the history of San Diego Police Department vehicles.
Brandy Wilson, the chief operating officer for the San Diego Automotive Museum, says in the first 2 weeks of paid parking, there's been a 38% decline in attendance and their revenue is down 20%.
We've had birthday parties and events that were scheduled to happen and they canceled because they didn't want to deal with the paid parking.
Brandy says attendance is down to pandemic era levels. Walking around today, we saw 5 guests. There were more people working than attending. Brandy wants the city to make parking free again for city residents.
Reverse the situation and reevaluate it and put the parking back free for San Diego County residents. Tourists will come, granted, but it's the county residents that support the jewel of San Diego.
Mayor Todd Gloria's office said in response to this morning's press conference, quote, many of the institutions raising concerns operate in city-owned buildings and do not pay rent. That reality makes it even more important that we maintain a sustainable funding source dedicated specifically to the care and preservation of the park they call home. Back at Balboa Park, the Cultural Partnership says they've launched the website savebalboapark.org for the community to voice their opinion on paid parking.
And share your concerns with our elected leaders.
Now, both of the museum directors that I spoke to today told me that if this keeps going, if attendance gets worse or it starts to last for much longer, they may have to heavily reduce their hours. I'm Alex Cheney. Back over to you.
Thanks, Alex. Drivers in San Diego's Marina neighborhood are still feeling the effects of last week's sinkhole. What was expected to be a quick fix is still disrupting businesses today.
CBS 8's Brian White has the latest on efforts to get a major intersection back open.
Yeah, water has been restored to nearby businesses and a couple more lanes have reopened on Marina Boulevard, but this intersection is still lined with cones and detours, causing a major headache for drivers.
Crews spent much of the day continuing pavement repairs near the intersection of Marina Boulevard and Sherman Street following last week's water main break that caused a sinkhole and forced widespread closures. According to the city of San Diego, 2 of the 3 southbound lanes on Marina Boulevard have now reopened, along with the northbound lane. But Sherman Street remains closed and drivers are still being urged to avoid the area.
What did you think of the sinkhole when you saw it?
It's scary. It's frightening, and a person could literally fall.
For people like Holly Churchill, who live and work nearby, disruptions from water main breaks and construction have been all too common in recent years.
It's congestion already with the projects they're doing for the expansion and the high-density growth, and then you add in a mistake, which can happen, but a sinkhole, now people can't get to their houses without, and they're worried about their communities.
Those worries are especially real for nearby businesses trying to keep customers coming through the detours.
It definitely has impacted us. We've seen a slowdown.
Deft Brewing owner Morris Nussbaum says construction has taken a toll. When gas was shut off, they lost an entire brewing day because of it. Pacific Sales on the corner is still open, but their parking lot is completely blocked off by the construction. Meanwhile, water has been restored to nearby businesses like Tio Leo's Mexican restaurant, which had been forced to shut down for days.
If repairs stay on schedule, this entire intersection could reopen as soon as Wednesday evening, though crews will remain out here on site as the pavement restoration continues. I'm Brian White, CBS 8.
Thanks, Brian. Tension between President Trump and Governor Newsom continues overseas at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. The governor says he was barred from speaking at an event due to pressure from the White House to cancel his appearance.
CBS 8 State Matters political reporter Jenny Ha has details.
We want to have no crime. I know Gavin was here. I used to get along so great with Gavin when I was president. Gavin's a good guy.
This video from C-SPAN showing the moments during President Trump's speech at the World Economic Forum. It comes as Newsom's first speaking event in Davos, Switzerland was abruptly canceled. The fireside chat with Fortune was scheduled for Wednesday morning local time, but Newsom officials say they were informed by officials with USA House that he was barred from speaking because an elected official speaking did not align with afternoon programming. USA House is the official American headquarters for the forum. It's privately run and partnering with the State Department for the first time, per Newsom's office. Political analysts say
a bizarre episode that now has gone from California to Washington to Switzerland.
And looked like the governor got put in the penalty box for, his comments.
What's everybody talking about nationally? Donald Trump and Gavin Newsom. And now what's everybody talking about internationally? Donald Trump and Gavin Newsom.
Newsom's office alleges the cancellation came under pressure from the Trump administration, despite the speaking invitation coming directly from Fortune, the official media partner. The White House did not confirm nor deny, simply stating, quote, "No one in Davos knows who third-rate Governor Newsom is or why he is frolicking around Switzerland instead of fixing the many problems he created in California." Newsom's team says the governor was instead offered VIP nightcap reception for off-the-record drinks, which he declined.
It's political theater. Gavin Newsom went there because he knew that there would be a dust-up between him and Donald Trump.
Newsom's office says the governor was going to respond to the president's remarks, which included comments about Newsom. Multiple Trump administration officials spoke at USA House prior, including Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, who called Newsom, quote, economically illiterate, and, quote, Patrick Bateman meets Sparkling Beach Ken, and mentioned while Newsom was asked to give a speech on his signature policies, he's not speaking. Comments that Newsom's office says were made before they found out about the cancellation. The governor spoke with reporters following Trump's speech.
It was remarkably boring. It was remarkably insignificant, including name-checking people he likes, people he didn't like. So, honestly, I was a little disappointed. It was a little nonplussed.
And the day prior, Newsom had scathing comments for European leaders.
People rolling over. I should have brought a bunch of knee pads for all the world leaders. He's a T-Rex. You mate with him or he devours you.
Jenny Ha, CBS 8.
Newsom is scheduled to be part of a different event at 11:30 Pacific tonight. We want to note other U.S. governors are also attending the forum, including the governors of Michigan, Kentucky, and Oklahoma. Rady Children's Hospital confirms they will no longer provide gender-affirming care after February 6th. The hospital says the political environment, threat of federal investigation, and the possibility of losing federal funds factored into the decision. But those who relied on Rady for gender-affirming care say the hospital acted too quickly, noting the services are still legal and that funding cuts are proposals that have not yet been approved.
And ongoing care with a trusted provider. And then all of a sudden that provider called you and said, I can't see you anymore, and I don't really have anybody to hand you off to. That's the situation our families are in.
Critics of the decision say it was done without input from local organizations or the medical provider community.
Right now, a custodian at a South Bay elementary school is facing multiple charges of child sexual abuse. 23-year-old Edward Puga was arrested by police last week. Authorities say the crimes happened over a 3-year period from 2022 to last November. The alleged victim was not a student at any campuses run by the Chula Vista Elementary School District. The district employed the suspect as a nighttime maintenance worker. Investigators believe there may also be a second victim.
She is the only non-military working dog in the region that can detect hidden electronics used by child predators. San Diego police introduced us today to Phoebe.
CBS 8's Abby Black shares more on Phoebe's remarkable work to protect and comfort children.
She's not your average police dog. This 2.5-year-old is San Diego PD's newest electronic detection canine. Her job, sniffing out hidden cell phones, SD cards, or hard drives used to store illegal images. As cute as she is, she has an important role. Her nose is key to helping put child predators away.
Seek. As 2.5-year-old English black lab Phoebe's on the hunt for electronics. Show me. Yes, good girl.
She found a memory chip hidden under a table leg and a cell phone nearby. Phoebe can search underwater in a device buried 6 inches deep as well as high up, sniffing out an SD card tucked high up on a blind.
Her sniffing gets a little bit more fast. Sometimes she'll make like a grunting sound.
San Diego police is introducing us for the first time to their electronics detection canine. She joined the force last March to assist the Internet Crimes Against Children unit. She's trained to detect TPPO. That's a chemical in electronics, even when devices are hidden in walls or cars.
She went right in, found the laptop under the bed, found some things in a drawer, and then she hid out a window. And I was thinking, there's nothing, what are you looking at? And she sat, and I asked her to show me, and she jumped up, and I took a step back and looked up, and of course there was a hidden camera above the windowsill that I don't think any of us would have caught. But
Phoebe was trained in Indiana and donated by the San Diego Police Foundation.
We've been tasked for her nose. We've been used for child abuse and a homicide case, looking for a cell phone.
But Phoebe also provides comfort, calming scared children during search warrants and giving detectives a moment of relief from the darkest cases.
We're in this business because we want to protect kids. We are also exposed daily to all of these videos and images and the cases and hearing what it has done to these families. And so she's very special in this office. Detectives will get up from their desk just to take a break, and she's right there.
She has a nose for justice and a heart for healing.
We have some fantastic detectives, and it's just great to have our little fur detective to help. Good girl.
In Kearny Mesa, Abby Black, CBS 8.
That is a very good girl.
Very good girl. Phoebe does a good job, and I love how, she looks so nice and innocent, but if you're a bad guy.
Yeah, I mean, the contrast into her being so sweet and
Yeah.
the mission being so important and the flip side being so dark, it's nice to see her out there doing that.
She's going to sniff that out, protect those kids. Thanks, Abby.
A travel alert for anyone taking the train this weekend.
Those details still ahead, plus a massive turnout as Goodwill opens a new store here in San Diego.
And coming up, how a local fisherman is working to help his new friend, a sea lion.
Cloud cover rolled in for today. It helped to bring down our temperatures as well. Now we are seeing a slight reduction in visibility out there, down to about 4 miles for Otay Mesa. Not as bad as what we saw last night through this morning, but we are going to be talking about more cloud cover and a chance for some wet weather in the forecast. Details ahead.